Alright, so I have decided to instead just do a quick tutorial, not using the in-games tutorial, mostly because, well, I'll show you. You have like 1 through 14, and it is a bunch of text to read. Unless you play with it, but I found it a lot more helpful to just kind of play the game. So I am going to keep the settings normal. So you have this is the entire game right here. You got to get into the safe. Now you do have a few tools. The first one is a specta something. Basically shows you the sounds. So if you listen, it'll show you the sounds and all the clicking noises. I'm going to show them on here. It is not very helpful in my experience. Can you tell difference between these sounds? Like what's going on here? Just tells me that there was a sound, but it doesn't really specify. And the different sounds are actually relatively important. You also have this, which tells you the exact, it's a gyroscope. So it tells you like exactly where you're sitting. Again, not very helpful because the wiggle room is pretty large unless you shrink it down a lot, which I guess you could if you get really good at it. The camera is similar in the sense that you can get really precise and it just sort of shows you exactly where you are in the whole thing. And then the next one is Xray, which will actually show you the lock, which I will be doing here in a second. And the last one here is it'll actually show you the combination, so you can just, cheat. But if you unlock the lock, it'll show you everything that you've used, so that's important if you're trying to challenge yourself. I am going to go ahead and hit the X-ray so that we can see, what's going on here and how each thing works. This is the basic lock. As long as you don't change any of the settings, everything should essentially be like this. It looks like it is not ascending, it's descending. Nope, that is ascending. Yeah, big to small. It's supposed to be random. This time we got ascending, which is fine. But when you move the wheel, this is essentially what it looks like. Your goal is to essentially get this hook to latch onto here, which will pull the latch open. Can't do that right now because this bar, which is connected to here, there's a bunch of official words for it, but they confused me, so I'm not going to use them. This bar right here needs to dip into these crevices on each of these individual wheels. As you can see, we have to line them up. So you can obviously turn the combination any direction that you want. And depending on direction, it'll go sequentially. So this is how combination locks work. And the correct combination will be when all of the wheels notches are lined up. And then this thing will dip into here and it'll pull the latch open. Pretty simple, when you're looking at it from the back, which you normally can't. So typically when you are actually trying to solve this, all that you have going on is the sound. So you give it a listen. So you heard those two, I guess, louder clicks, or three louder clicks. That's basically to indicate how many wheels there are, so how many numbers in the combination. You can have up to 20 in this game, and as low as 0 actually, but 1. And that's how many numbers we have to find out. I cannot imagine doing a 20 combination lock because it gets very, very tedious at a certain point. The other softer click that you hear is what's called, I believe, the control lock, which is basically whenever that hook that you saw in the back goes over the notch that it needs to go into. In this game, and I assume all combination locks, this area is in between 0 and 10. So you can hear this clicking noise. And if I were to do it gently, apparently in real combination locks, when you're actually moving this yourself, you'll feel tension here, but the game sort of translates this when you hold down control or move slowly. the thing will just stop. This is actually very important because it's how you find numbers. So if we were to, I like starting going to the right. So I'm going to wait for all three of the wheels to click, which they have. I'll pass 0, and I'm just going to try out a number. Forgot where the notch was on this one, but, you know. Actually, I'm going to start, I like starting at 95, because you'll see. So I move over to 10, and as long as I can go from 0 to 10, and I just stop at 0 to 10, it's not that number. So we're going to move back. Let's try 90. You heard that click? That's the wheel that's moving and adjusting again. So we're going to go back to 0 and 10. And it's not 90. So it's going to click again, and when we go over 90, yep. So we'll try 85, 0 to 10, and it's still 0 to 10. All right. Let's try 75, 0 to 10. Let's try 70, still 0 to 10, 65. 60, roughly. Kind of blew a little past there, but that's okay. Oh, okay, so it stops right here, which is less than 10. So that means that that number, 65, is a number. Actually, yeah, it was 60. Excuse me. So 60 is a number. Unfortunately, I don't know which number that is. But let me show you what that looks like when I do this first one, which is the biggest wheel, actually. This is not always the case, but this first number, which is the biggest wheel, its notches right here. So when, let's rotate that again. So when I get it here and pull it down to the control, it drops a little bit extra, which means that it hangs a little bit, just enough for you to tell you that's what the number is. And then you repeat that process for the 3 numbers, and that's about it. Recommend this game. It is quite fun, if not simple. A nice way to pass time. And apparently this is how most safes work that just have combination locks like this. All right.